Welcome down to White Rock. Cougars Blue just had another win, round 2. Cougars
win.
White, the ugliest captain in the Cougars, obviously.
True.
How'd you find your first week?
Yeah, it was really good. We had a good win last week, and then the Cougars Blue followed it with a good win this week. So it's a good start to the season.
Obviously the first Irish bloke captain at Cougars. Bit of an honour.
Yeah, bit of an honour, alright.
There's been better Irish players before, come before you.
I don't know
Probably
about that.
laid the groundwork.
I don't know about that. I think I'm the best to come around.
Paddy, Killian Finn, they're both saying that they were pretty much the groundwork, and without them you wouldn't have got it over the line.
Killian Finn and Paddy, they're all talk.
Yep.
I put my words in action.
Beautiful. Now, what did you think about the game today as the fellow captain?
Yeah, it was a very good game. Some good scores kicked by all. Anton kicked a nice one from the corner. Some good tackles in around the middle from Mitch, and Benny Shannon nearly took a few people's heads off in the full back line. So it was a really good game.
Who's your front runner for best on ground?
Probably going to have to go for Boz. He was very consistent around the half back line. Put in a few good tackles and hit a few nice passes into the forward line.
So coming off a fresh smoke,
yeah.
Lungs are open.
That's a good one.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
How'd you feel you went?
Yeah, it was a good. I thought we got a good win today, especially good to beat the Saints after obviously they beat us in the grand final last year. I thought a little disappointing we didn't finish off. Possibly we let them kick 3 in the last quarter there, where we held them for 3 for the first 3. So a little bit disappointing, but first warm day really, and it was a pretty hard game of footy. So I think it's a pretty good win, and all in all the boys are pretty tired. So it tells me that that we played pretty hard for the first 3 quarters.
Now obviously this year, Keir McDonald was stating that it's probably his handiwork as coach. Bit of an upgrade at the position. He obviously stepped down from that role, but what are you looking to do this year with the footy club?
To be honest, I would like to step back a bit more. Obviously, with the splitting into 2 teams, the workload has been a lot greater coming to the start of the season. But I think now that the season started, hopefully it allows us to step back. Ideally for me, I want to be more in the background and more shadows. But that's obviously knowing me, it's quite hard for me to do. But I think Macca and Gav and Turs, for that matter as well, all 3 of those guys have been doing a fantastic job, and it shows out in the field. Our tackling, our intensity, and our run is it's probably better than ever when I was coach. So they're probably doing a good job so far.
Now the social scene at the Cougars has always been a big thing.
Yeah.
Bit of a ringleader there. Anything big on the horizon for the Cougars, or is it just a lot of Doolans and that infamous corner?
Yeah, well, Floozy Corner's kind of been shut down. I remember back in the day when I was just a young lad of about 29, a single lad, we used to frequent Floozy Corner down there, but it seems now all the guys have got girlfriends, so it could just be called Pervy Old Guy Corner now maybe, I'm not sure.
Beautiful. And on the Irish front, bringing Philly here, one of our newer Irish players this year, played a few games last year, but
Fresh haircut for today.
Fresh haircut. He's dedicated very heavy this year. Now you've got a few other Irish boys down, a bit of a driving force. You've probably got a bit more say around the Irish community than the other captain, Russie Clear. What are you looking for when you look for Irish blokes? Is it a very seamless transition?
Yeah, I mean, with the Gaelic football that the guys play, I mean, it's an easy transition to come in and play a bit of Aussie football. The good thing about the Irish lads is they're not afraid to tackle. So you know, we're allowed to tackle in this game, so I think that's a massive thing, like, you know.
Now when you say the Irish boys aren't afraid to tackle, you mean that's not obviously all of them. I've seen a few out there. You ran around, weren't really looking to get too involved, but more than happy to try and dodge around a few yourself.
Well, that's it, lads. I mean, there's a thing in the Irish football that we just shake off a player, you know, and I don't think the playing Aussie rules out here, they're not used to lads shrugging off tackles, and when the Irish lads come in and play, that's what they seem to manage to do, and there's a little bit more room opens up for them, you know, so that's how they progress into the Aussie football, you know.
What's your favourite thing about the Cougars itself?
About the Cougars, I'd say personally the camaraderie, you know. I mean, that's one thing that the GAA is lacking, is the pats on the arse, as they say. There's not enough of that, you know. Yep. But you know, 2 teams, 1 club, that's what we're trying to do this year, and I think with the first 2 wins, first 2 weeks, I think we're doing well on it.
Yep. Beautiful. All right, boys, that's all we've got time for today. The score today, 85-38. Going to head back tonight, have a few at Moose's, but if you're ever wondering where to have a beer, get down to Kaylee's. Any Kaylee's will do, but Kaylee's in Kits, and you might bump into a Cougar, have a few red trucks, get down to Down Under Travel and book your travel there. Thanks.
Get a Cougar up ya.